Hey everyone, Anansi here from Ocean Esports with another Top 100 Dotabuff replay cast. Today we're going to be watching X-Ray on Silencer. He's a really high ranked Dotabuff player. He's ranked 3rd, has a 58% win rate in 1800 games. 1800 games this guy has played on Silencer. That comes down to 52 days. Oh, okay. How long each one of those games takes varies. So he spent 52 days in game on Silencer. That's pretty impressive. What we do here, we watch these players from their perspective. Let's just here. I guess that's fair. We watch these players play their heroes from their perspective. We take a look at everything they do, and we see what we can learn from that. These guys should know how to play these heroes in pubs better than anybody else. I don't think most pro players have 2,000 games played on one hero. Maybe they do, maybe not. But in any case, these guys don't get much love. Let's take a look at how they play their heroes and see, hey, maybe you learn something that you can apply to your pub, which other people don't know. So let's take a look. Firstly, very interesting, I noticed he picked up an Orb of Venom. I find that, yeah, okay, cool. I hadn't seen that yet, but it makes complete sense, at least. Although it might be a very minor slow, if he maxes his glaive, then allowing, or actually, just getting any hit in to slow a little bit allows him to get a few extra glaives off, which should give him some insane harass potential. That extra slow, I mean, one extra hit from a glaive level 1 is really quite strong. So his zoning potential is going to be pretty huge. I think it's quite a high risk build because there are no stats. He's only got 3 other tangos. He does seem to be the only support on his team. Okay, Night Stalker. Um, yeah, Night Stalker's going forest most likely. Yeah, but pretty cool to see somebody doing this, and I'm really curious how it's going to pan out for him. We just saw Mirana down there with him. If she's solo, that's one thing. If there's another hero, that's a different story. But it seems like she's solo. I see 3 heroes top. So let's see how this pays off. Yes. Okay, so cool. It does apply, even though he... Yeah. Oh, wow, that is cool. Already learning something. I didn't realize that... Orb would also apply, but that's really cool. I definitely see the strength in any case. So he harasses. Notice that he's harassing from the trees, guys. That means that he is less likely to get a hit back from the Mirana. It means he'll be out of vision from creeps more quickly if he were to draw aggro. So this is just really good, really good. He's in and out the whole time. Also, something which he would be able to do is if he's in and out like that the whole time, you can sometimes quickly buy a teleport scroll, and then you can just TP over to a different lane to gank real quickly if you're a more ganking oriented hero. I don't think he'll be doing that on the Silencer though. But in any case, he zoned them around it pretty effectively. Well, he zoned her. He has no more regen, so I'm very curious as to how he's planning to take care of that. I guess Silencer can be such a good zoner that he shouldn't need the regen. It shouldn't be close when it comes to trading, and he probably did think about who it was he was going to be up against. Mirana does want to roam somewhere and throw out an arrow or two, like get a kill mid, maybe get a kill on the Night Stalker or something. So yeah, maybe that's thought out. Oh, okay, turns out she's jungling. Somebody guessed it. Well played to them. He goes and gets the bounty rune in 2 minutes. He's playing support, so he's got to get his gold somehow. Pretty ballsy to go in here. But okay. Okay. So I guess he's assumed, okay, I've zoned this Mirana so hard, she's going to be scared. And she'll be trying to get some levels in the jungle. So he's just trying to make sure that he's not satisfied with simply getting her out of lane. He wants to make sure he knows where she is and pressures her if she's in the jungle. So if by going in the jungle he still sees she's not there, then she's probably trying to throw an arrow somewhere. If he finds her, he's slowing down her farm. At least they know where she is so that she's not getting a blind arrow off on mid, which is pretty high level because you don't see the play that didn't happen. I mean, Mirana could also be roaming mid and getting an arrow. She might not have, but then again, he made it harder for her to do so. So over the course of many, many games, this play would a few times have stopped somebody like a Mirana from doing that. Or maybe you zone out a Darkseer or something, and he goes into the forest, so you slow him down even further. You just make him that little bit more effective so that the speed at which your carry comes online is sort of amplified by decreasing the speed that your opponents come online. But okay, 4 minutes in, what does he buy? He's got 200 gold, he gets a teleport scroll, doesn't have anything else. That allows him to help out. Does he get to help out? And whether or not he does, he at least he's close enough to potentially do something. So yeah, he does help out. And that's 2 int. That's pretty nice. He was in range for a kill, so actually that is huge. Having TPs on him and making sure you're part of every kill you can be part of is extremely important on this hero because it allows you to get going. Instead of going boost first, he gets Windlace. What's his movement speed? 315. Honestly, not the worst in the world. Well, okay, it's not that fast either. Oof. Okay, that's unfortunate. Can't be there to help out. Or yeah, he can actually. It's nighttime, so the Night Stalker will be roaming around as well. If he can get some vision. Yep. There was a glimpse of that Pudge. So that could be another. Yes, sure enough. That'll be another. Yep, max range. Right. Cool. Is that 4? No. Only 2. He wasn't in range for the death. That's unfortunate. But I don't know. Silencers usually aren't roaming this much. I like the Windlace pickup. I like to get that on Sniper as well, just because the tiny bit of extra movement speed allows you to dodge a Pudge hook, for example, that much quicker. So don't know if he did it for that reason, but in any case, it seems like a solid pickup. Maybe he goes for Yules or something. Anything interesting we can see here? Oh, kills. Okay, yeah, that's what he's also thinking. He's taking a look at the status of the game. This is something I've already seen consistently every single top 100 player do. They're constantly looking around the minimap. They're constantly looking to see what's going on with their team and the opponent's team, trying to make sure they know what the status of the game is, and so probably they can affect the game to the best of their abilities. I really like how quickly he cancels the cast animations of his spells. This is probably due to the fact that he has played the hero so much so he knows at what point he should do that. But if you guys can see, he casts his Q and moves extremely quickly. He a lot of players will cast it and they'll just leave their cast time, enjoy their cast time as well, but he consistently cancels his. This is one of the most slow roamers I've seen maybe ever, but he's doing it. He does check in on his carry while he's moving around. Does he seem to think he needs to be there? Nope. He's not an XP range or anything. He's just moving around and he thinks he's doing things that need to be done. Moving up to an unexpected area. I doubt anybody's expecting a ganking silencer. So unfortunately they went up and they didn't go right. But he's there to help out the offlane. Wow, really doesn't feel he needs boots. Very interesting. Was ready to TP over. Bought something from the side shop, so effective use of the side shop or the shops that he is closest to. I really like that. Cool. Make sure to stack. Didn't see any opportunity to do anything else, so he just stacks real quick. Has good vision of the Pudge, and alerts his teammates, wants to go for it. Draws on the minimap to express what he wants, so he's communicating. His teammates don't seem to be too interested. Daytime Night Stalkers just want to sleep. Very attuned to how the game's going, and yeah, his role is to make sure that the rest of his team gets what they need to get, and he's just making sure that his opponent's attempts to thwart that are slowed down, are decreased. Picking up bounty runes here and there. That's really what he has to live off of. If we look at his levels, hero level, he's the lowest. Absolutely lowest in the game. But don't forget, this is one of the highest ranked silencers there is. And you don't see him raging or anything. He's a position 5 silencer, and he's just going to do his thing. He's going to make sure he impacts the game without farm, which will be very interesting to see how he manages to do that. Lane ward for his carry. Make sure that he won't be ganked from people TPing in, or at least has some notification of that happening. 10 minutes, still no boots, just wards. Notice, he has prioritized wards and TPs over boots. I think that's definitely, at least under 3k, people will almost always buy boots over wards, which is fine if your team is doing fine and you're going to get the wards anyways. But in those where your team needs more, you really have to, you've got to sacrifice some stuff. And I don't even think his team is doing that bad, but he is completely comfortable in prioritizing those items over others. Slight misplay there. Getting the tower hit, but his opponents don't seem to know. Are they gonna manage to? No. Oh yeah, maybe they will. Cool. Double kill for his Gary. Great rotations. Just constantly seems to be where he needs to be. Moving around the whole map. Wow, still no boots. Prefers to get the levels. Has 6 extra int now. So he's gonna start tearing through people. That Pudge. 8 extra int now. This is gonna get scary pretty quickly. Hey, who needs farm when you get 8 int just from getting kills? And again, still not going for boots, yeah, just a magic stick. So staying power is what he seems to be prioritizing, not movement speed. Don't know if it was a mistake for him to have cancelled his TP or not. Again, casting his spells from max range. Knows he's not going to get the kill, but takes a consolation ranged creep deny as his prize. 12 minutes in, no boots. What is up with this guy? Gets his ult at level 6, doesn't prioritize something else. I think his ult is pretty strong against some of these heroes. For example, Puck specifically. If Puck is silenced, that's just... yeah, that's painful. Still buying wards over boots. Holding on to the sentry. And finally buys his boots. Heading back to base to get those and keeping an eye on the map while he's heading back there. This is a rather slower paced games than I've been watching recently. Doesn't go all the way back to base, just okay. Well, so with him, it's especially important that he be watching the whole map at all times so that he knows the opportune moment to ult. He'll also get rewarded for that. If he hadn't ulted there, Troll would have died without getting a single kill, as opposed to dying at least with a kill. I think Silencer is one of the few heroes where it's okay to TP to a fight too late, because you might get 2-int. If you just show up and you're in the area. And again, just constantly moving around the whole map in order to help out his teammates and potentially get something. These idiots. Well played. So 10 int, 14 minutes in. And funnily enough, suddenly, he's actually a scary hero. It's gonna be 12 in a second. Nope. No, that is unfortunate. Ah yes, and the new Flying Night Stalker. Pretty cool. Prepping his items and then watching the game again. Pays attention to what's going on everywhere while he's dead, so that when he gets back, he has all the information he could have had and is able to act on that information. So hero build wise, he chooses to max Arcane Curse first. As a support, I think that's a pretty good idea. You can just cast it from a distance safely and then see how you want to move into the fight while ensuring that you've done area of effect damage to your opponents. TP on cooldown, so he's not going to be able to help out too much, but okay, of course, he can silence. And at the same time, he is moving over. So he's bought his carry some time. His team is showing up for the counter gank. They've all smoked, so that's unfortunate. And he does notify his teammate to get back. It is nighttime, however. And it seems like things are slightly unfortunate now. No. Hugging the trees as he runs away from the puck in order to decrease the amount of hits that puck could get off. And then manages to get away. His team gets a kill. Dodges an arrow. And he's still part of the fight. So 12 int now, there we go. Takes the time to place the wards that he can place quickly. Note, many of his wards are very defensive. Why? Because his opponents are being so offensive. The Pudge, Mirana, and Puck are looking to pressure his team. They're in their own forest extremely early already. So he wants defensive vision to act on that. Sometimes offensive vision can be defensive, but he just places something that allows them to see the main way that they would get into their forest. Constantly just placing wards. Not really any new ward spots at the moment. Rather normal ones. You see this line of vision. He's protecting this area of the map. That tower is down, so maybe that's part of why. Well, two tier 1 towers are down. So this is kind of where his team will want to start heading over. Magnus is right below him. That's why he's farming here. He's not farming here because he just feels like it, but he's kind of safe. You could even say he's bait. In any case, he's not alone up there. But he's about to head back. Ah, add empower to a silencer. It's a pretty scary combo. Can easily dodge. Yeah, see, he has that. Yeah, he has that winged lace. Can easily dodge those hooks. Keeps the sentry on himself. Mirana is indeed missing. She is ulted, or she had ulted, it seemed. And let's just take a look at the net worth graphs. He's second lowest, but let's take a look at his impact on the game. There, third. Third in kills. He only has 1 death, and he's got 6 assists. 6 assists. More assists than anybody else on the team, or in the game. And he's right. He has the 3rd most kills as well. So arguably the most impact there is. He has fed the least of the top 3. And he's been a part of, some of their kills. So a really great job. Looks like he's looking to build up an Orchid, and I can understand that, given his opponents being able to silence a specific individual and increase the damage that they take with a bit of burst at the end can be extremely strong. I think Silencer is quite the versatile hero. You can build him support or carry in many ways. I think this guy is definitely okay with how squishy the hero is. He's not, at least in this game, he's not worried about how often he might die. And constantly just keeping an eye on the map, sees where people are moving and moves in position to help out his teammates bottom. At this point, he and his team know that the Troll Warlord is the one that's being pressured most of the time. Places a preemptive sentry ward, assuming the gank is coming there. So whether or not that hits, it's a really good play. And actually, he was right. I mean, it was a pretty obvious one. But if they would have gone there, and they would not have expected the sentry ward. His team would have been able to see what was see their opponents, and that would have been insanely impactful, because they would have been they get completely out of position because they think they're invisible and nobody can see, and then suddenly he ults, so suddenly they're silenced and out of position, and Magnus will ult and get a really nice ult off, etc. Yeah, that's those are the high impact things, for sure. Notice that where he is as well is out of vision for his opponents. He's not usually very obviously in vision. He, right now he might be in vision. He doesn't particularly know, but he's wow, that's so funny. He's moving around and just trying to take what he can get. He's not overplaying his hand. He sees there are a lot top, so he places a ward close-ish to top, but he doesn't run all the way up and place a super ward a little bit off to the right. Got dewarded immediately though. That's unfortunate. Just casts a safe amount of spells. Apparently Glaives procs the Nether Ward. And he just continues to get some farm, slowly helping his team take the game. Definitely everywhere he needs to be. And again, as he's backing, keeping an eye on the game, not taking his focus away. Here this is how he knows what items Luna's gonna have. Probably gets a feel for how much net worth she has. How far is she? She is not doing very well at all. All 3 of his cores are way on top. And if we compare his effectiveness to the effectiveness that the other two supports have had on their team, he's doing really well, I would say. We can take a closer look. Kills, deaths, and assists. Pudge has died 11 times, so, you know, he didn't feed 11 times, so maybe that's quite easily said. But well played. Places another ward, very focused on making sure his team has vision. Realizes, I would assume he realizes at this point they have vision of him. That's why he places that there, but he's not sure where that vision is. They just clipped him. He's actually standing. If it's still there, he's standing right on top of it. Or was. Got a little out of position there though, and gets punished pretty hard immediately. Oof. Ooh, that Shadow Blade. Oh boy. Close call on the TP there from the sniper, but everybody manages to get away. He got only slightly out of position and definitely got punished immediately for that. Given how squishy Silencer is, you probably need to watch out. Again, he's lowest on the net worth charts. That was his second death, I believe. I think he's still having a really big impact. And it seems that he just, when there's nothing to do, he just farms. Or he seems to have made the decision to farm for a bit now. Maybe there aren't any more wards available. I can't see that, unfortunately. Even bothering to go for Ancients already. 14 int stolen. Looks like he maxes Last Word next. Does quite some damage, you know. The first point is a clear necessary value point. But the cooldown decreases as it goes up, so understandably maxed. And looking to get that level, those levels in that farm. The Orchid attack speed especially synergizes extremely well with what he wants to do, and that's something else that is really interesting about his team is not only does Magnus increase the damage that everybody does, but Troll increases their attack speed. Nightstalk already has a very strong attack speed, or at night, so there is some serious synergy in what their team does, and it makes that silence stick even better because the attack speed is just more attack speed and the damage from the Magnus works. So they've got a bunch of really good right clickers that can take advantage of the buffs that they give each other. Tried to help out his team there with that ult. Always paying attention and ready to help out, because no matter where he is on the map, he could be a part of the fight. And I think that the attention he pays is probably one of the most key things to his consistency in winning games. Yeah, just winning games consistently. Don't see him make too many mistakes. He's not feeding, even though he's low net worth. He understands his role. I think that's probably key. He understands what his team needs in order for them to win. He could be playing a core silencer, but he's only taking farm where nobody else needs it or nobody else is taking it. Magnus shows up and he was moving to the left straight away. He's not there to steal farm from anybody. He's just taking farm that nobody else is taking. He's not the most mobile hero, so he shouldn't be trying to make plays all by himself. He's just there to back people up when they need it, when his opponents overextend. About 30 seconds before his ult is... Ooh. Is ready. Wow, that was a quick use of an Aegis. Just flanking, waiting for his ult to come off cooldown. Aegis for a Pudge, I think you would have wanted more. In any case, gets his buff, they're going to take this tier 2 mid. Stays very safe, stays hidden to make sure that he can get his ult off when necessary. Again, knowing his role and knowing that it's Sniper who needs to do the damage and can very safely. So, oh, there we go. Wombo combo. Oy 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 oy. That is painful. So there you have it. The the heroes able to make use not only of the of the Magnus Empower, but also, of course, the RP. That was huge. You might have thought before that this team was, wow, in a bit of a pickle. However, that one fight just gave them a Rax. And, you know, they take the Rax. He reminds his team to get back. He, you know, and they all do, which helps. But he does take the lead in saying, okay, hey guys, we got the Rax. We're not going to be able to take any other significant objectives. So there's no point in staying around here too long, right? Just backs up, notifies them of an invisibility ward, and works probably is probably going to focus on finishing up his Orchid. I guess since the 7.0 changes that Ancients take magic damage, he's able to farm them a little bit faster. He only took off about 25-30% of that one Ancient's health with Curse though, so it might not be that significant, but it's something. It's something that in the past he would not have been able to do, and allows him to catch up as a support more than he would have been able to do in the past. Currently has 24 int stolen from his opponents. That's a lot of extra damage that he does, and so as a support, yeah, is able to contribute significantly in the amount of damage that his team does, and able to benefit from any early momentum that they create, which is pretty important. If your team has a good start, then he's going to get completely out of control. All of a sudden, you have a second carry. Moves his way over to the fight, hides though, and waits for the opponents to potentially engage because his ult is ready. And he doesn't want to get silenced by the Puck. How do you counter a silencer? You silence him. Again, double checking what the situation is. In all fairness, a 115 Pudge makes just about anybody look good. But also remember that Pudges want to get early kills, and actually they want to rack up flesh heap stacks. They want to stack up on that strength. And that's exactly what Silencer wants to do as well, but he managed to get his, and Pudge did not manage to get the ones he wanted to get. So in a way, he's kind of like a not very effective ganking Pudge, who does benefit from the same things. And he managed to do his job better than... He managed to get his stacks better than Pudge managed to do his job. So he deserves credit for that for sure. That's another dead Pudge. And that's 28. Unfortunate. But then again, that was a core Puck dying for a position 5 silencer who was lowest net worth on his own team. So those are the types of trades that anybody should want to take. His teammates are top 4 in net worth. He is second to last, but he's going to come out of this with plus 25 MMR, and the opponents are not. $30,000 net worth advantage. He finally has his Orchid finished. First thing he does is TP as close to where his teammates are, and then get a bounty run. Focus on taking the tier 2, it seems. All the cores are alive. And sure enough, seems like Luna has an Aghanims. Yes, she does. But Luna's gone, or in any case, she's back now. However, no ult. And the Silent Stick will be a significant increase in damage. Not that his team needs that much more. All they really need is an RP. But I think it's pretty cool to see that he really didn't get anything defensively. His defense was offense in silencing his opponents. Does place a ward, which nowadays almost always gets instantly de-warded, but at least attempts to place that high ground ward to get his team vision, which would allow them to close out the game. I mean, now they know it's warded, so I assume he's not going to place that again. But he does make the attempt to do the right thing. Has placed a rev ward here. Guys, this is really important before taking high ground, especially against Mirana. The amount of times that people will lose because of a huge swing where they tried to push a lane and then some invis heroes managed to initiate on them is ridiculous at lower level games. Like this type of ward, it's a very simple thing to implement, and make sure you do, because it can save that game that you thought you won but you ended up not winning. His team just holds this position. They're not too aggressive. He's always hiding in the trees when he has his ult up and needs to get it off. Luckily for him, okay, oof, that was not so lucky. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, the fact that they got him there with that arrow meant that he couldn't silence. However, he could buy back and ult. So the opposing team doesn't know that. They don't think he would necessarily be there, but as long as he pays attention to what's going on here. Okay, can't buy back anymore. He bought items. I think it's kind of a misplay. I mean, not that his team necessarily needs him, but yeah, okay, you know, it is quite clearly game. Well, guys, I hope you learned something about how this guy plays a silencer. He's extremely high ranked, has a lot of games played on him, and yeah, let me know if you have any comments, critiques. I'm curious to know. And, thanks for watching.